the ABCs of anti-racism, and the first one is attachment. You see, people become racist because they're attached to racist ideas. Attached to the basic racist idea that one race is better or worse, lower or higher than the other. Of course, there may be some external differences, cultural differences, physical differences, mental differences in the way that people think or look at the world. But physiologically, physically, basically, underneath it, our skin, we're all humans. So, it's the attachment to those ideas. Now, I'm going to add a few more based on what's been happening today, because today is historic. Because I never thought in my 7 decades of living in this country, the land of the free and the home of the brave, that I'd see a coup. But believe me, we have watched on TV live a coup. And what is a coup? I'm going to read this definition again. A coup is a violent and illegal seizure of a government. And when our elected representatives were escorted out of the Congress in the Capitol, and these people with guns are sitting in the Capitol, putting their feet on desks and sitting in the speaker's chair. If this was Africa, the headline will be a coup. There's no other way to say it. And that's what awesome anti-racism is about, is getting straight to the roots of racism. And believe me, this coup is definitely a racist act. Because look who's doing it. Look who prompted it. And no one benefits. So that's our history in the making for 2020 on my birthday, too. Yes, I have lived 7 decades, which means today, yes, I am the big 70. And I am so happy that you have dropped by to check it out, because I will be here every Wednesday at 12:30 Alaska time for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes of your time to think about how awesome anti-racism is. Because let's look at some of the other A words. We've got anxiety, which I feel many people are experiencing now. My sister said she wasn't watching the news because she didn't want to get overwhelmed. But hey, folks, this is the beginning. Because we know that for change to happen, it's not always easy. It's not always pleasant. And sometimes there are waves. Fortunately, we're not making the waves. We're receiving them and letting them roll in and roll out. Our new people in government are speaking sanely, and tides have changed. But the work of anti-racism only increases, because now we are seeing, and people still do not want to say what they see. Journalists are afraid to say this is a coup, but it's a coup by definition. It's a coup, and I'm not a journalist. I have the privilege of being an elder and a Black cultural bearer. Now, I've been around long enough to say a coup is a coup and this is a coup. Fortunately, so far, no one's been killed. Hopefully, no one will be. And not that this government is perfect. No, it isn't. But this is undeserved and unnecessary political drama. And so we move on. with looking at why this is racist, because first of all, the people are white, primarily male, and we won't talk about the women who would engage in this kind of behavior. Secondly, because most of us, people of color and black people, recognize that the American dream of democracy and equality has always been a dream. I mean, we cannot forget that it was built on a document which initially granted black people who were at that time enslaved not even full credit as human beings. And who knows if that is not still in the documents. And the only reason all of us can vote has been by constant adding to the Constitution and to the documents, giving women and giving black men first, and then taking it back, and then giving women, and over giving everyone the ability to vote. And then, of course, those who are only interested in power, not public service, trying to take the vote away from the people who need the service. And so, that's our little bit of history, and our look at why what has happened today on my birthday has been historic and has been a coup. But for every negative and downside is an upside. So now we've had it, and we are going to move on. Because look at Georgia, folks. And I don't pray for elections. I prayed for Georgia. And so for all of you, whether you call yourself Democrat, progressive, libertarian, independent, even if you call yourself Republican, be right. Be for compassion. Let go of your attachments to the old rules and the old idea that the United States of America is a white country. It is not. The United States of America is a multicultural, multiracial, multi-idea country. And it will continue to be that way. And eventually, the people in leadership will recognize this diversity. And the people who are in positions of authority will be sitting in story circles learning how to be inclusive. And it all begins where you are.